Dear children, your English textbook has many questions based on figures of speech, especially in section 2, poetry section. I know that you all are well acquainted with figures of speech in English. Today, let us have a quick revision. Okay? Children, let us remember what is a figure of speech. A figure of speech is a change from the ordinary form of expression to make a greater effect. Yes, a change from the ordinary form of expression to make a greater effect. If it is poetry, then to get a better poetic effect. Okay? There are many figures of speech in English. I shall discuss some of them today which are commonly used. First, I am going to tell you about simile. S-I-M-I-L-E. Children, what is a simile? A simile, just let us know in this way, when a direct comparison is made. A direct comparison is made between two objects of different kinds which have at least one point in common. It is called simile. We use as, like, so to make a simile. For example, as proud as a peacock, she is as proud as a peacock. It is as clear as crystal. It is as clear as crystal. That baby is creeping like a snail. Like, as, like. So, when it is used in a sentence and when a direct comparison is made between two objects of different kinds, you can just go for identifying it as a simile. Next one, metaphor. M-E-T-A-P-H-O-R. When an indirect comparison is made between two objects, it is called metaphor. For example, life is a journey. Life is described as a journey. Comparison between life and journey, and life is here described as a journey. All the world is a stage. Next example, all the world is a stage. The entire world is a drama stage. Comparison, indirect comparison between world and stage. So it is example of metaphor. Next figure of speech, we can go for personification. This is commonly used and it has been used in some of your poems in your syllabus. Personification, when inanimate objects or abstract ideas. Inanimate objects or abstract ideas are spoken of as having life or intelligence, it becomes personification. For example, the mountains sing together. The hills rejoice and clap hands. Mountains, hills, those are considered as inanimate objects, and here they are just singing together. Mountains sing together, the hills rejoice, just like having their lives. Okay, so mountains and hills have been personified here in this line. Second example, nature's fearful wound. Here nature is personified, okay, as if it is an animate object. It is having its life, having its intelligence, and so on. For example, laughter holding both her sides. Laughter is personified. Laughter is personified here just as a living being. Next we can go for apostrophe. When a direct address is made to the dead, the absent, or a personified object or idea, it is called an apostrophe. Apostrophe, when a direct address is made to the dead person. Just we can go for this example. Oh death, where is thy sting? Oh grave, exclamation mark, where is thy victory? It is an example of apostrophe. You can find many when you will read the poetries, the poems especially. Goodbye winter. This is also an example of apostrophe. A direct address is made to the dead, the absent or personified object or idea. It is called an apostrophe. Children, next we can go for antithesis. antithesis. When opposite ideas are placed side by side for emphasis, for better effect, it is called antithesis. For example, with a smile on her lips and a tear in her eyes. Tear in her eye. Smile and tear. The smile contradicts, brings opposite ideas. The tear. Smile and tear. Clear? Next, we can go for, as example, forget me for a while and afterwards remember. Opposite ideas of forgetting and remembering are put together here in this line. Another example, men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Okay, come and go, opposite ideas. And it is the example of antithesis. To the worst or best, worst and best, opposite ideas, example of antithesis. Now near, now far, near and far, example of antithesis. Man proposes, God disposes. Proposes and disposes, antithesis. Okay. Inversion. Inversion is the act of changing the position or order of something to its opposite. Inversion, when the prose order is changed to suit poetic effect, it is called inversion. The prose order is, for example, subject plus verb plus object plus the rest of the sentence. Change the word order. Change the word order. It takes place in inversion. The word order changes. For example, barren are those mountains. What will be the actual word order, the proper word order? Those mountains are barren. But for better poetic effect, it is said like that, barren are those mountains. So this is the act of changing the word order, and it is the example of inversion. Wealth I seek not. What is the proper order? Prose order. I seek not wealth. But here, for better effect, for better expression, it has been like that, wealth I seek not. Not to autumn will I yield. Instead of saying I will not yield to autumn, the word order is inversed here. So it is the example of inversion. Very common one poetic, one figure of speech in poetry, it is alliteration. alliteration. When similar sound or repetition of similar letters are used to produce poetic effect, it is called alliteration. Listen to me carefully. When similar sound or repetition of similar letters are used to produce poetic effect, it is called alliteration. For example, the tiny shapes on the shiny sea. The tiny shapes on the shiny sea. The sound of INY is repeated with good effect. Sound of Y and Y are effectively repeated for better poetic effect. So it is the example of alliteration. Similar sounds or repetition of similar letters. Okay. Another example, let us take, and yet you will weep and know why. Initial sounds of Y and W are effectively repeated. It is the example of alliteration. Another very nice example of figure of speech is hyperbole. Hyperbole. Children, when a statement is made emphatic, means more strong, more powerful by overstatement or exaggeration, it is called hyperbole. What is exaggeration? Exaggeration means a statement or description that makes something seem larger, better, worse, or more important than it really is. Okay, that is exaggeration. And when a statement is made more stronger or more powerful by overstatement or exaggeration, it is called hyperbole. Called to 1,000 times, I never looked back. An example of hyperbolic expression. An obvious exaggeration of the number. Called to 1,000 times. 1,000 times I called to. I never looked back. Okay. So another example. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little land. The land is very little, very small, but all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little land. All the perfumes. See, the hyperbolic statement. This statement is just an exaggeration of the expression. So, this is the example of hyperbole. Okay.